Alright guys, welcome to the PWC channel once again. Today I'm gonna be recording the Minors League match between Nikinator13 aka Regieleki and Anubeon. And I'm really happy to record this one because Anubeon has taken quite a break during the season, and now he's finally back to do his matches. I'm a little bit late for this. We're already in turn 4 now. And the first thing we see is Nikinator bringing some heat, literally. He is running Sunny Day Kyurem, which I have never seen before in my life. But it seems to be a set possibly with a Weather Ball to counter a Anubeon Celesteela, so that's definitely very interesting and very cool prep on his part. Now Anubeon, before he took his break, did have quite the rough start to the season. I think he lost all of his first 4 matches so far, so he is gonna have to make a little bit of a comeback. But either way, I'm really happy that he's back, and I hope that he can have fun in the remaining season. So yeah, that's what it's all about, you know. So Anubeon has got Gudra, Celesteela, Crocodile, Seismitoad, Dusclops, and Gardevoir with him. I think the Gardevoir is a Mega Gardevoir in his case, as he misses a really unfortunate leech seed on the Kyurem. That was quite unfortunate, I have to say, and Nikinator reveals that he's indeed packing the Weather Ball, so that's really cool. Okay. Oh, no, this is going really badly for Anubeon. Now, Anubeon still has the option to knock out the Kyurem behind the sub with a Gardevoir Hyper Voice, but obviously the Seismitoad is 4 times weak to the Freeze Dry that Nikki would probably be packing, I would assume, because honestly Anubeon doesn't have a Freeze Dry switch, and to be quite frank, but yeah, at least he can still revenge kill Kyurem behind a sub, and Gardevoir should normally be faster than a Kyurem. At least it naturally is, so unless he is running some modest set or something, which he really shouldn't, in my opinion. Okay, so he's doing it that way. Now, but this also means that Nikinator will get to knock... Oh, that's not the play. Oh, okay. Now this was a little bit of a misplay, because obviously had he just heavy slammed, then at least he could have broken the sub, but yeah, I think the play would have been to go into Gardevoir and just click Hyper Voice, because honestly, Gardevoir isn't gonna take that much damage from a freeze dry. It's gonna take more from a Weather Ball under Sun than from a freeze dry, and I think it would have taken probably around 30% or something, maybe 35 or so, and it could have knocked out the Kyurem. But maybe Anubeon, I don't know how experienced he is. Maybe he doesn't know about the mechanic and about sound moves and substitutes. Alright, so yeah, Gudra can probably also eat up some freeze dries, but still, this is unnecessary damage. He didn't have to take this. Well, yeah, I didn't go over Nikinator's team. He brought Silvally, which is his signature mon. Then he's got the Rillaboom, Aerodactyl, which I think that's Aerodactyl Mega, Incineroar, Kyurem, which we are seeing in action for a couple of turns now, and Sylveon. So he pretty much brought all his high tier stuff, while Anubeon at least brought a low tier hero in Dusclops. Now, Anubeon, in my opinion, before he took his break, even though he did lose all his matches, he didn't play that bad. So he got... Yeah, he got a little bit unlucky in some of those matches, and some of those matches also were really close against good players, like for example Corrupt. I think he only lost 1-0 to Corrupt, and Corrupt is one of the favorites to win this thing, so alright. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on between these guys right now, because Nikinator could have stayed in there, but I think he wanted to switch out before there were some mind games happening. Well, that's interesting. Now he gets a knockoff off with the Incineroar, which is good for him, definitely. Anubeon doesn't really like to switch into a knockoff. He's probably gonna go into Crocodile, I would assume at least. But, you know, Crocodile doesn't like to lose its item, obviously. And a Scarf Crocodile. Alright, so he's pretty much sacks the Celesteela, yeah. This is all going Nicky Nature's way right now. And it's really cool for him that the Weather Ball Kyurem set is really paying off. Yeah, honestly, Anubeon doesn't have good switches to it. That's just the case. Very interesting. Now, the Crocodile is obviously a little bit of bait for Rillaboom, probably. Alright, Nicky Nature decides to sack his Kyurem. But now he gets to go into Rillaboom and probably click a grass move. And now we're gonna see if Anubeon has the Sap Sipper on Gudra, which he might, because obviously Nikinator does have this Rillaboom as his S tier mon. Alright, no, but he doesn't go into Gudra, and this is looking like trouble, honestly. Yeah, I think Dusclop's not gonna like taking this damage. But on the other hand, he might be able to take this hit, and he might be able to burn the Rillaboom now. But honestly, overall, it's kind of looking rather terrible for Anubeon, because he also doesn't have a Hyper Voice switch in anymore for the Sylveon, and Sylveon is probably gonna get hits off versus Gardevoir, for example, or even yeah. Alright, so he's gonna burn this. Yes, okay. Well, at least he gets that. But yeah, I think it really, at this point, I don't really see a way for him to win this match. I mean, we haven't seen the Silvally set. Maybe he could do something with Gardevoir, but obviously Gardevoir gets outsped by Aerodactyl, and Aerodactyl does also learn Iron Head, which gets boosted by its ability. So yeah, there he still is in a lot of trouble. Alright, now he goes into Gudra, meaning that he probably does have the Sap Sipper, I would guess at least. And but still, now what's he gonna click? He's gonna click something like Sludge Bomb or Flamethrower maybe, which isn't gonna one-shot this Rillaboom. I would be very surprised if it did. He would have to be a spec set for that, I believe. Yeah. Alright, at least Nicky Nature is thinking a little bit here. That's a good sign. Alright, high horsepower, that does... Oh, he's gooey. Alright, now at least he gets to weaken this thing before it knocks out something right here. Yeah, and in next turn he's not gonna have his Grassy Slide available, so Gardevoir can revenge kill it. And yeah, we also didn't see the Crocodile's item, but seeing as it brought Stone Edge, it might be a Scarf set, and Scarf set is interesting. Depending on Silvalley's typing and Sylveon's investment, it might have been able to sweep, but he is Intimidate and not Moxie. And Moxie Crocodile, right now he could pick up the kill with it, or could have picked up the kill with it and got a first boost. And with Stone Edge, provided he hits them all, he maybe he could have cleaned up against, I don't know. I would suspect a Silverless Steel here, to be honest. But we don't know. Yeah, Stone Edge is looking like a threat. As I said, provided this isn't Silverless Steel, which is honestly likely. And obviously Gardevoir is always a threat, but I think in this case it's a little bit too slow against the Mr. Regieleki himself. He's never gonna be lacking in speed. So yeah, I don't really see a Anubeon win here. But yeah, he's still he's still making... He played a little bit awkwardly around the Kyurem, in my opinion. He definitely could have done that a little bit better. Unless he's running Moonblast on Gardevoir, which wouldn't make sense. But apart from that, he's doing a decent job once again. Probably gonna come up short once again, but I think he's gonna get a couple of wins still this season. Meanwhile, Nikinator, he had a really strong start to the season, but he kind of had a little bit of a slump after a couple of weeks, and now he's kind of making a little bit of a resurgence, especially with this win now. I think he's pretty secure now in his playoff spot again, but it's gonna be hard to attack the top tier playoff spots because there are 3 playoff spots in Minors League that are gonna skip the first round of playoffs, and I think those are a little bit far off for Nikinator at this point. I think someone above him would have to take 2 more losses, which doesn't seem likely to me personally. But you know, nothing's impossible. And I'm definitely rooting for him because he brings so much energy to the league. He really is someone that you can only can only be happy if he's joining your league. Well, now he's bringing the Incineroar into the Crocodile. That means that he's pretty much banking on it being scarfed, and I think that's a bet that he's gonna win. Right. Well, now again, Anubeon does have an option here between Crocodile and... Alright, he doesn't think too long about it. Well, now, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna click Stone Edge or Earthquake? What do you think? Stone Edge, well, I thought... Okay, so this seems like a lot of damage. I don't think this is a physically defensive Sylveon. Interesting. Alright, so let's see. He's gonna click Hyper Voice here, but I don't think he can, or even Calm Mind. Alright, now that's good. That means that he's definitely gonna get a kill here. And yeah, I mean, depending on the typing of Silvally, he might... Alright, as I suspected, it's Silvally Steel, but... okay. Now, let's see. Maybe he has Focus Blast. If he has Focus Blast and hits the Silvally here... Alright, now... interesting. This is taking an interesting turn. Now, because obviously he can now, with his Scarf, Crocodile's Stone Edge, maybe clean up. Because in order to not get swept, Nikinator has to go into Aerodactyl here and be able to knock out the Gardevoir, which he likely is. He's likely gonna be able to knock it out with Dual Wing Beat, but then again, this is interesting. I mean, I still think that Nikinator is gonna win this, but it's definitely getting close, and this is a little bit of a scare right here for Nikinator, and it still depends on what his set with the Aerodactyl is, and also a little bit what the spread by Anubeon is, because if this is a heavily physically defensive Gardevoir, this might actually be game for Anubeon here, so this is really interesting. I mean, if he, Anubeon, I mean, lets his Gardevoir die here and gets knocked out, then I don't think Crook can do it with Stone Edge. Because as we saw, it's not doing enough damage to the Sylveon. Yeah, but if Gardevoir lives this hit right now, Aerial Ace, and that's enough. Oof. Now that was scary. Aerial Ace. Not even Dual Wing Beat. Huh, interesting. So, yeah, Anubeon probably didn't have any defensive investment in his Gardevoir. Now maybe with a critical hit, he can still do it here. Yeah, I think that this was possible for Anubeon to still win this. Yeah, now it's obviously over, but had he gotten one of those 2 as a crit, he might have been able to still win this. Now this turned out to be an interesting match still. Way more interesting than I thought, honestly. Yeah, now he doesn't have any Stone Age PP, and I think he's gonna struggle here. Struggle to his own death, or yeah, Nikinator could also click Stone Age here. Hyper Voice, I mean. Well played by both guys, I have to say. Nikinator's gonna try to get his kill with Aerodactyl here, probably to climb up there. He might even sack it here, honestly. Alright, he does. Okay, so interesting match. Very cool, very cool. Well, congrats to Nikinator for the win, and well played by Anubeon. Anubeon, I think this wasn't the first time that he made some kind of a mini comeback in a game, and one of these days I think he's gonna get his first win. He isn't playing that bad. Alright guys, see you in the next video.